Hey, you. Yeah. On our play for this week, Project Foundry is rebuilding Halo from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5. But is there another reason for this? We'll get into that. Marcus, are you excited? You should be. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is coming back. Get excited.
It's happening.
We'll talk about when. That's coming. With Ubisoft in hot water, will Black Flag even come back? We don't know. But Tencent is here. Are they the knight in shining armor or in black armor? All this and more. You gonna say something? Oh, okay.
Nah.
All this and more on season 8, episode 40 of Press X Start Gamers Digest. What's up, I'm your host. Oof. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka I am flipping my phone all kinds of way now to play Marvel Snap and Balatro. It's kind of crazy. My hands are just stressed out. I am joined by
Sean MF Ross.
What does the MNF stand for?
Jojo.
A man of taste, a man of fashion. This is Press X Start Gamers Digest, a video podcast that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday. Well, except for today. And a few other days.
It's Sunday somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're here when we can make it because life is hard.
But listening to us is easy.
Yes, it is. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hit the notification bell. We'd appreciate you doing that for us. Thank you. And if you are listening and not watching, we appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast service you're using. Thank you. And then if you want, you can join our conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. Thanks again. That's thanks for a third time. We're cool. All right. With all that done and out the way, let us jump into the gaming news, starting with number 1. Future Halo games moving to Unreal 5 as 343 Industries rebrands multiple projects in development. Oh, there's a comma there. Okay. Yes, this comes to us from IGN. I'm hearing myself a lot in my
You know what that sounds like, right? That sounds like Halo's coming to PlayStation. Jordan.
I think Sean might be on something.
I'm just talking shit over that. Even if it came to PlayStation, I wouldn't play it. I don't.
Dang.
I literally have no interest in Halo.
Yeah, at all. We'll get into it. Well, okay,
I played the original on PC, maybe for like an hour.
PC. Oh,
I mean, yeah, it was available on PC.
Yeah, it was available. I'm just surprised. I would think you played on Xbox.
Did not have an Xbox. My guy just got Xbox 360. Only because someone said they were going to buy me a PS3. So I'm like, all right, well, I might as well have both. And yeah, reasons. And then I played a little bit of Halo 3 when that came out, when my brother-in-law came. When that came out, like 07, 06,
yeah,
like that. But he also had Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I was like, fuck this Halo 3 shit, nigga.
Right there, right?
It's Call of Duty.
It's funny. It's actually so we'll talk about this and then we'll talk about the article.
Yeah,
so it's funny though because my first person trajectory, I'm actually just gonna play their little video that they put out for it while we talk about this. But my trajectory for first person shooters was that I actually started with Halo. Halo was my first I mean, I played Unreal Tournament, but I never put time into it. Where Halo was my first first person shooter that I got into.
Because he was trash.
Huh? I was actually pretty good. Thank you very much.
It's a safe place.
Actually, you know what? No. That's a lie. Because I played GoldenEye and I played Time Splitters. Oh, I forgot about those. Yeah. So when Halo came out, I jumped on it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And it was a thing of the pistol. It felt like the best pistol I've ever played with in any game. It was like, man, this is so crazy. It feels so great. And I just kind of moved along with Halo up until I played Halo 2, I played Halo 3, and I think after 3, I was I didn't get the Xbox 360, so I played what I think Halo 3 was on 360, right?
Yeah, I'm like, how the hell do you
Okay.
play that?
Yeah, so I played that like through like friends, like consoles and stuff. Because I had friends that had
Mm,
the 360. So yeah, like I kind of in a way grew up with Halo, but I was sort of a fair weather fan because in college, that's when I switched over to Call of Duty, and like Call of Duty became like the godsend of
yeah,
first person shooters for me. So yes, let's get into this article for IGN. So IGN, this is from Kate Bailey. The future of Halo is starting to come into focus. During Sunday's Halo World Championship, 343 Industries made a number of announcements, including that it will officially be changing its name to Halo Studios, which I feel like they should have done this a while ago, just for the
yeah.
fact that they only make Halo. But
I mean, maybe they still wanted to keep hope alive that they may make another game.
right. Microsoft was like, no, get back on that computer, fix your game. All right. So, and that it's working on multiple new games. And
Yeah.
I think that multiple new games thing is very interesting because I think that kind of alludes to what this whole Project Foundry is actually supposed to be. So, in addition to the newly rebranded studio, they're showing footage of Project Foundry right now. Um, the newly rebranded studio says that all future projects will be developed in Unreal, which is also interesting, leaving behind the slipstream engine utilized by Halo Infinite. So that slipstream engine, so we can just take a pause right here and just kind of explain why they might be switching to Unreal versus continue using slipstream engine because they've been using the slipstream engine for a long time now.
Mhm.
So it seems that they are essentially positioning themselves to be more attractive to the developer audience as a whole because most people use Unreal or at least know what Unreal is. So it's easier to pull new talent in and just quickly show them
Yeah.
how they're using Unreal versus having to teach them Slipstream. And then on top of that, there is a ton of assets, there's a ton of libraries that they can use for Unreal, and all that will essentially make them be able to produce content a lot quicker. Because that was one of the big issues with Slipstream was that it took them a long time to make anything essentially. And they had to like essentially build everything on their own and be their
From
own like
scratch.
tech company as well as like develop this game.
Mm,
So
makes sense.
yeah, that's also a big positive. There's also this other thing where I'm going to oh, I actually did not include this into the article, but there's also a rumor that another reason, so this was actually alluded by one of the chief guys from Digital Foundry, that another reason why they are switching to Unreal 5 is, as Sean said earlier in this show, that this could lead the way for Halo moving to PlayStation much smoother than it would if it was, on Slipstream still.
I'd be
And
curious to see what the sales would look like. Like, how
yeah,
many PlayStation loyalists are interested in playing that, or like, will their primary sales come from people who had an Xbox and switched over? I wonder what that Venn diagram would look like.
I mean, I think that's a good question, but I'm for sure it is going to be a thing of like, Halo is an Xbox game through and through. So those diehard Xbox fans are going to support the game where there's going to be a ton of like gamers who played Halo, enjoyed Halo, and think like, okay, yeah, if that's coming to PlayStation, sure, I'll get it. It's Halo. Like I've played Halo before. I enjoyed playing Halo. So I think it's going to be the PlayStation is going to be like a support system for the game, just like how PlayStation released a game on Steam with the
Mhm.
idea of that is going to support the PlayStation developer, and then hopefully also draw some of those people into the PlayStation platform.
I'd
I don't. Go ahead.
also be curious to see if this would like be a revival for Halo.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, I haven't played a lot of them, but it seems like they have a rich world and lore to pull from. But majority of the games have been focused on Master Chief, hadn't it?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they've, I feel like they've just left a lot on the table and painted themselves into a corner when they just, I don't know.
It's a weird thing because I think in Halo 4,
Yeah,
no, Halo. 5, I think. They moved away from Master Chief and had the black guy, the black actor, and no one liked that game,
Well,
and everybody
clearly he was
wanted to
a
go.
DEI hire.
Oh, you just can't get away from it. You know what I mean? It's just there's DEI people out
Microsoft
there.
is so progressive, they were woke before it was a thing.
Right. So yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like I would think the move would be to expand the Halo verse by like having
Yeah.
other people like for example Halo Reach. Halo Reach had um was like the founding Titans or whatever I
I
don't know what
feel
they're
like I
called.
played either that or ODST. I played maybe like 30 minutes of that because I got it for free for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah. So like and and people really liked one of the two of those games. So it is
Yeah.
possible that they could do something like that. But it is a thing of there's a ton of things that they can do. And I think with this whole Project Foundry, they're going to try and touch a lot of those different things. And I think what because they don't really exactly tell you what Project Foundry is. And I think
Yeah.
what it is just going to be a sandbox for a collection of like Halo assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to. I guess the goal would be like you'd be able to pull stuff from this Foundry stuff and make games. Like I think I could be wrong, but like the Forge, like Halo Forge, was
Yeah.
like a sandbox
You
kind
can
of
make
thing.
you can make game modes and shit like that.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of what the Foundry is supposed to be set up like, but it's going to be for the developers to like pull from and have their own like asset library and just hopefully allow them to create these games in a much quicker pace than what they were kind of bottlenecked in with Halo Infinite,
Yeah.
which I think is cool. To to get back to the question that you had about like, will this be a revival for Halo? I honestly don't think so.
I don't see it putting up Call of Duty numbers, but I mean, like,
Yeah, yeah,
people were excited
yeah,
for Infinite, and then that just pretty much died on impact, died on release.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, I,
I'd
I
like to
think,
see where we had I don't think Halo or Battlefield will ever reach Call of Duty levels, but at one point,
mhm.
I feel like they had a good competition going.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with the with the idea that Battlefield is coming back, and then we're gonna have Halo
Uh-huh.
come back, I think because I think this there whatever the next Halo thing we're supposed to see would probably be in 2026. And I think the Battlefield thing actually might be next year sometime. It is a
Okay.
possibility of Halo just kind of missing their opportunity to really like have a space to actually operate in. So I don't know.
They're gonna deliver a 10 out of 10 game and then get shut down 2 months after.
No, no. Microsoft, don't do it, please. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, but that's also the thing too. It's like this is them changing their name from 343 Studios to Halo Studios is also 343 Industries is also a way for them to kind of wash their hands with like the association with like all the bad stuff around 343 and like them
Yeah.
just fumbling the bag with Halo for a long time now. So this is very much so a new dawn for them in a lot of ways. So we'll see. Um the question that I kind of heard from like other people in the industry like talking about this is that why would they do this now?
Mhm.
And it seems like it's kind of out of the blue. They could have definitely waited when they're just kind of showing a lot of dev stuff. There's nothing really there to show off. And I feel like we're probably going to get a trailer for some kind of thing with like a 2026 date at the end on like on the Game Awards.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a big win for like Xbox to have something to show for the people who didn't see this or not even aware of it. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's cool. Halo is back, kinda. Number 2. Exclusive. Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is closer than you think.
Yeah.
This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of is this Tom Henderson? Yes, it is Tom Henderson. All right. So we as in Insider Gaming got wind of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake earlier this year, and the information said to Insider Gaming suggests that the game could be coming sooner than you might think. I'm just going to skip ahead. Apparently, it's supposed to be coming in November 2025,
That'd be hot.
which is fall next
I
year.
get that day one.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
like,
hope they include the slavery DLC as well.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was on what PS Vita?
4.
Was it?
PS4. Freedom
Was it
Cry or
PS4?
what it was. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of another Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
How could I mix up the Assassin's Creed? Like, oh, it's terrible on me. But so the funny thing about this, just to go back with the whole like, how can I mix up the Assassin's Creed thing? Terrible on me is that they plan to release have 10 Assassin's Creed games out in the next 5 years.
Ridiculous.
Now, that was a plan before a lot of things happened. Before Assassin's Creed Shadows was pushed back, before Ubisoft stock tanked 6 feet under the ground, and before the whole Tencent like having talks with them about possibly buying out the studio. We're gonna talk about that part in the next story. But just to go back to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, that was actually, I think, oh, I am still showing the Call of Duty. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Just not even the right game. Just oh my goodness, this is my first time doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. So like, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was actually the first Assassin's Creed game that was like, oh, this is my jam. Like I played the mess out of that game. So like, I am really excited to see this come back, and this is supposed to be a remake, but I think from this okay, no, I'm getting confused with remaster. So this being a remake, I think is a really cool idea. I hope Assassin's Creed Shadow plays well because I imagined it probably base the combat system off of Shadows. So
We'll see.
Yeah. But again, this is really up in the air, especially because of so there's also another exclusive thing about Assassin's Creed Shadows having a co-op mode that's going to be in development. But again, all this is going to be up in the air because of number 3. Ubisoft issues response to rumors regarding Tencent's potential buyout. And then this comes to us from a WCCF Tech by way of Amy Eastland. So Ubisoft has officially decided to come forward to address the rumors of Tencent exploring the option to buy out the French game publisher. Although the statement right now is very vague, it's been rumored that Tencent is teaming up with the Guillemot family to buy out Ubisoft to take the company private, but it has not officially been confirmed. According to sources close to the scene, Tencent and the Guillemot family are speaking to advisors. In a statement released on Monday, Ubisoft said that they regularly review all its strategic options in the interest of its stakeholders and will inform the market if any will inform the market if and when appropriate. So essentially, they are most likely just considering this option, and I think I
Here's the
personally
thing. They also
go ahead.
came forward and said that they have a lot of offers to get bought out. So this isn't unique. This is just something that kind of escaped.
Yeah, this one got out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that makes sense because Ubisoft has a good amount of like valuable IP that that can be profitable. But as the thing of Ubisoft is
They don't know what
such
to do with it
a
now.
like not
Pretty
even
much.
that, and like Ubisoft is so large, and it's like
Mm.
who would want to sit and like literally take the responsibility of all of those studios, and it's just you're kind of setting yourself up unless you do the thing of you buy the studio or you buy Ubisoft and then you start just cutting cutting and cutting and getting it down to a more workable like number of studios. And
By Microsoft.
exactly. And that really sucks if that can be a potential thing. But like, this is Tencent, and also I think this is actually a weird thing that Tencent is stepping up to do this, even though they've had a stake in Ubisoft before. But Tencent, we had a story about them stepping back from like Western studios and like trying to focus more so into like the Chinese devs, and I guess Chinese and Japanese. No, I think it's just more Chinese devs after seeing like the success of like Black Myth Wukong and all the other Chinese based games that are coming, or China based games that are
Mhm.
coming out or going to come out. But yeah, it it's gonna be an interesting thing if like Tencent actually goes through with the buyout and Ubisoft is no longer ran by the Guillemot family.
Small
Um,
family business.
Hi, what's your feelings on this? You got any thoughts?
Something needs to happen at Ubisoft because I think like they're just coasting on their hardcore loyal fans with their staple IPs, and they're trying to innovate, but they don't. They're testing for functionality when they're pushing out games, not for fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Like their innovations isn't actual innovations. It's streamlining like their
Mhm.
old games in a way, and it's just like, okay, like we know what this is. Like this is you're gonna go up to this point, and you're gonna unlock this like this area around. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff to do. There's like gonna be a bunch of check marks, and it's just like, okay. But I mean, some people really enjoy that.
That
So it's
that
one of the things.
scratch itch for some people, and that's fine. But
Yeah,
they're not gonna survive as a company if that's all they're gonna do.
yeah, and it's one of those things where you can see that those people that enjoy those type of games, I guess maybe aren't buying enough of Ubisoft games,
Mm.
or their time is being spent elsewhere, or whatever other factors that are leading to Ubisoft not selling enough of their copies of games to really bring in the money to keep this whole engine rolling. So yeah, well, we'll see. Hopefully, we don't have to pour one out for Ubisoft. If we do, hopefully Tencent treats them kindly.
Mm.
All right. Before we jump into Fortnite being the future of video games, maybe subscribe to the channel so Fortnite won't become our future. Or maybe we can actually do this in Fortnite. Maybe that would have you or help you do better with subscribing to the channel and hit the like button, and then leaving us a comment below if you are crazy about Assassin's Creed Shadows or Assassin's Creed Black Flag, not Shadows, Black Flag coming back in next year or something. Or if you're a Halo fan like me and you just kind of left it and you're like, oh, they're gonna bring Halo back. That's gonna be cool. Let us know down below in the comments. I hit my mic down there. No, it's like over here. Like right there. Right there. Yeah, do that. All right. Number 4. Fortnite isn't the future, it's an anomaly. And Tim Sweeney is just another CEO wrongly predicting the death of big single player games. That is a title. This comes to us from PC Gamer by way of Fraser Brown. So there was a some kind of event or something that Epic threw, and Tim Sweeney came out and he basically said some things that kind of shook up the game dev. He came out. Okay, I'm just actually just. I actually want to pull one of the. Okay, yes. This is a quote that he said. One of the manifestations of that change we're seeing right now is that a lot of games are released with high budgets and they're not selling nearly as well as expected. Whereas other games are going incredibly strong, what we're seeing is a real trend where players are gravitating towards the really big games where they can play with more than one friend or with more of their friends. So, oh boy. Epic boss Tim Sweeney reckons we're in the midst of a generational change in the video game industry, one that's going to see games like Fortnite stick their flag on top of a pile of largely single player blockbuster corpses. But all he's doing is repeating a falsity that has been touted for years with little evidence to back it up. The multiverse ain't the future, and single player games will never stop coming. So, this is a big thing that happened, and it's one of the things where both sides is kind of right. Tim Sweeney
Mhm.
saying that, like, they're seeing the trend of players gravitating toward the essentially live service games is a thing that's happening because the people who are gravitating to those games want to play those games. They want to spend time in Fortnite. But those people can also buy a game like Black Myth Wukong and play that,
Yeah.
you know? So it's a thing of both sides, both things can be true. And if that's the case, then this is not a generational shift. This is more so just we are just seeing the gaming habits of people and
I
that
mean,
those
it
habits
it
change.
undulates. It happens in waves. I mean, people just want to play quality, fun games, not shit that they're taking off a box to include in a game just because it's the hot new thing.
Yeah.
Fortnite just happened to catch a wave before PUBG could actually release. PUBG basically threw away the bag. They wasted their
Yeah.
chance,
Yeah.
taking so long to get to console and trying to be exclusive.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
Fortnite was
you're
able to
right though.
pivot and whatever the hell, I don't know what it was built in. I guess it was built in Unreal originally, right? But they just updated which version it was using.
What was?
Fortnite when it originally released. Because I mean, at first it was supposed to be a multiplayer save the world type thing, and it kind of just
Yep. Yep.
pivoted. So I mean, they
Yep.
just got lucky.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. They got lucky and they were able to capitalize off of that luck. And we see this time and time again where these quote unquote winners are allowed to dictate what their history is and what the future will be. And it's just like, no, no, we've been here long enough to know that, like, yeah, like Fortnite is a strong game. Fortnite has millions of players. Fortnite could stand the test of time and last, just like Warcraft did. But that
Yeah,
doesn't mean that the industry like became an MMO like super highway. Like, no, like there was still single player games, there was still party games, there was still indie games. Like those games will continue. And it is not a thing like you have to be super close minded to the industry as a whole to think that like, oh, super single player games are dead. And like there is there's a caveat to that in that there are big budget single player games that need to be tweaked, need to be worked or reworked and like figured out.
yeah.
But as a whole, single player games will always always exist.
As long as we have indie games and small focus studios, we'll have multiplayer because some people don't want to bother with netcode and things like that. They want to make a small project that they'd like to play with their friends or share stories with, whatever. Kind of like another one of our success stories coming up.
Mm, yeah. And and just another thing to this is that like you can't you can't like the industry is big, yes, but at the same time it needs its own diversity to survive. So like if say like Fortnite, if we follow the trend that like Tim Sweeney is trying to promote, it's like okay, Fortnite is the way of forward for gaming. So all games release to look like Fortnite.
Hmm.
And every game essentially fails because none of them are Fortnite. And then you have an industry that is essentially failing because they are following this quote unquote trend that Tim Sweeney is saying that people are following. And it's just like, no, like that's obviously not the case. Black Myth Wukong is doing amazing. Like, yeah, Star Wars Outlaw is actually one of the examples that is used to see, like, actually no, it's used in the next story. But Outlaws didn't do well, and that's a big budget single player game, and it's just like, yeah, when you look at it from that perspective, it didn't do well, but there's also a lot of other reasons why it didn't do well, just for the fact that it's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is having their issues. So it is a thing of like, I don't really like give his
Mhm.
take like any real like weight.
Credence, yeah.
Um Yeah, I mean, we pretty much like the article kind of gets in. Actually, I'm just going to read this because I think it's very interesting. The video game industry is a constantly evolving animal, and in the nearly 4 decades I've been gaming, it's never sat still. It wasn't all that long ago that PC gaming was allegedly dead. That's true, but now it's the most vibrant platform around. Also true. I've watched the rise of MMOs, the downfall and resurrection of adventure games, the advent of MOBAs, and the massive impact of free to play and live service games. These aren't generational changes though, because the industry doesn't evolve in spurts. It's in a constant flux. And it's so vast now that it's impossible to say this is what gamers want. Like that's what it is. Like this is industry is so huge. There's so many different ways of being successful. Like look at Bellatra. Like is that it's not free to play. Like that game is just a card game that is a fun game and people enjoy playing. And as long as your game is fun, people enjoy playing, people are going to play the game. So I don't know. Tim Sweeney, just I guess, stay on your yacht and keep making them Fortnite decisions. All right.
Next up.
Number 5. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 dev says big budget games are failing in part because teams are over scoping their projects. This comes to us from IGN by way of wait a minute, let me scroll. Wesley Impel. So, Concord, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Star Wars Outlaws, Final Fantasy 16. The list of big budget game failures is growing longer each month, with AAA publishers struggling to make a dent in the dominance of older, more established players. This, no, more established players in this most brutal of markets. Throughout it all, massive hits come out of nowhere. One of those is Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, developed by World War Z and SnowRunner Studio, Saber Interactive, and published by Focus Entertainment. Of course, Space Marines 2 benefit from the strength of its Warhammer 40K brand. I'm going to stop right there. This is why this game is so popular, is because it is functioning off of IP.
I mean, it could be shit.
It could be, but it's a thing of like the bones are good, but it's taking over the top because of the IP. And it's a thing of like,
I mean, but that could have been Suicide Squad or Star Wars Outlaws. So I mean, it could have been Baldur's Gate 3 could have been terrible. This is what happens when you focus on is this game fun before I ship it out? Do people actually want to play this? Or am I just capturing suckers who like this property?
Yes. And I agree with you, but I think it's a thing of you can have, for example, World War Z. That was a really decent game built off of a movie. And it's like I feel like this part of this is kind of like, I mean, I'll okay. They have good points. I just think that it's sort of like the winners is kind of dictating the story, and that like, yeah, like we're underdog, whatever. And it's like you have Space Marines. Like this game could have been a 7 and people would have still bought it anyways because it's Space Marines and people love Space Marines.
And you say 7 like it's a bad thing. For some
I mean,
people,
yeah,
a 7 is above average. People Average should be like a
Yes.
5 or a 6, but people act like 7 is average, and a game
Yes.
must be a 8,
Yes.
9, or 10 for you to play it. And
You
we
no,
didn't.
you're right.
We had 7s. I'm gonna put on my old man hat. We had 7s back in my day, 6s and 7s, and we were happy with it. All
we,
right.
we had sevens that we treated as nines. Okay. Like, man, this game is great. You go to your friends, hey guys, is this game great? Like, no, this is trash. What are you talking about? Like, what?
Them dudes are just haters. They don't know what they're
Uh,
talking about.
oh man, no, but you're not wrong though. You're not wrong. And I think it's one of those things where it's like I because at first, like I looked at this and I was like, oh, okay, Warhammer. I know that's a strong IP, so this game is
Mm,
probably going to sell well. And it's really amazing to see that this game did better than like, oh, it's it's a good game. Like it's a great game because it
yeah.
plays really good and a bunch of people really enjoy playing it. But it is like it's like the backbone of it is Warhammer. Like one of the things of a like dedicated Warhammer person is painting the little models. And it's
Mm.
like I like Gundam. I build Gundam models. I tried spray painting. Okay. I'm not gonna paint little fig like miniatures. Like that's not in me.
He's not the
So
artist he thought he was. That's not even the story we're supposed to be reading. It really is. The Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 dev said that big budget games are failing in part because teams are over scoping their project. They're trying to
yeah,
throw in everything and the kitchen sink.
let's go
And
back to the miniature talk. That's like
yeah,
but yeah, no, you're right. You're right though.
they're trying to throw everything in and the kitchen sink, and they're over budget, over,
Hmm.
past time delay. Like, it's fine to release a game with a short, tight story and good gameplay. We don't need, unfortunately, people equate time to play the game or time to beat the game with value, value of the game versus the game should cost more to begin with anyway. But if a game is less than 10 hours, they feel like their $60 or $70 was wasted. But they're
Yeah.
also expecting uncanny valley level of graphics, and we're hitting a wall, and they have to start focusing on other things.
And you
I
know
don't
what
know where we're
though?
gonna go from there. Yeah.
So I think it's a thing of the industry is the industry responds in such a slow way in that like the reason why we had that bloat of like we have to put everything in these games, we have to make these games long was so people wouldn't sell the games back to GameStop and such
Mhm.
and like
I mean, I
basically
don't
just
think they
lose all
give a
that
shit
money.
if they sell the game back to GameStop. Once they've
No,
made the first sale.
no. That was a problem because GameStop would just sell the game back for like $45 when the game costs $60. And it's like GameStop is making all
When the
this
hell
money
is
off of these
GameStop
games.
ever selling a game back for $45? They would take $5 to $7 off, DJ.
Okay, well, I was giving GameStop the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, but like I mean it's the same thing that like they're making bank off of these games where it's like the publisher like, wait, no, like that's our game that we're not getting any money back from. So
Mhm.
like that was their like defense for that. But it's a thing of like GameStop is essentially dead now. Like we don't really have that like resale market in the like brick and mortar stores anymore. So it's just like the industry can cool down, specifically Ubisoft can cool down from like just and use Square Enix from like stuffing all this stuff in these games and just kind of letting the games just be a bit smaller and more digestible. Like Metaphor
Yeah,
Refantasia,
yeah,
whatever.
sure, whatever.
Like that game is doing great. It's a Persona game, but Persona games are like 80 to 100 hours long. That game's 80 to 100 hours long. I am never going to touch that game. I it could be 100. It could be 100 on Metacritic and OpenCritic. I'm never going to touch the game because the game is too long.
Yeah.
So is thing of like these games don't have to be that long because gamers have tons of games to choose from.
We're spoiled for choice
So
now compared to 20 years ago.
yeah. So like you can have these masterpiece games that are 20 hours long, 30 hours long. but they don't need to be like jam packed with everything, which I totally agree with in terms of like, all these things is being overscoped. And it's just like, save it for the sequel, save it for like an expansion or whatever. Like,
Save it for Rush Hour 3.
there you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of it for that. Yeah. So let us jump into the quick hits. We're going to do something a little special at the end of this. We're going to do like a little critic score wrap up because there's a bunch of games that came out that we could just quickly talk about. But number 6, Balatro approaches 1 million in 7 days on mobile. No surprise there. I mean, that game is a really like I bought the game. I'm going to talk about it and what we've been playing. But I'm enjoying the game, and I can see $10 of that is from this person right here. Okay, all right. So you're welcome. What's Blatra Studio? I don't know. I forget the name of the studio. I almost said Apple, but actually Apple takes a cut too. Anyways, that's awesome.
PlayStack, I think, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Do you got anything to say about this? I don't got anything to say about this.
It's at the top of the charts for Apple and Google. Top paid card
the
game.
dev is named Local Thunk, by the way.
Yeah. Go try it again.
It's the top. You said it's at top of what?
It's at the top of the charts for the paid app, paid game.
Yeah. Which it should be. It's a good game. Solid. All right, number 7. Smash Brothers creator.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I just had a brain fart. Yeah, I Sakurai. I don't know why. I was gonna say Musashi. I don't even know why. Anyways, Smash Brothers creator Sakurai is sending his acclaimed game design YouTube series. Oh, he's ending his acclaimed game design YouTube series this month. This comes to us from Eurogamer.net. So normally I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. From Matt Wales. I'd be like, oh, okay, that sucks. He's probably just done. But it's the fact that he is done with this means he has something probably more important to work on, to do.
That is speculation, counselor.
I mean, you're right. It is speculation because it could be a thing of I'm just also done with making YouTube videos. I'm going to go drink some iced tea and watch the clouds move and think of the next Smash Brothers game I'm going to make.
You're going to run him into the ground, aren't you?
Well, if he starts over, he doesn't necessarily have to like work on like 80,000 characters. He can just work on 8 or 10, make them perfect. So yeah, it's speculating that he is going to be working on some kind of game. Will it be Smash Brothers? I don't know.
No. Not that Nintendo doesn't print money already, but how much would an original Smash Brothers or Smash Brothers Melee remake do?
That's a good question, but like, as far as I know, he's very much so like always moving forward. Like he doesn't do like a remastered kind of thing.
He doesn't own the IP. It don't matter what the fuck.
I know, but if Nintendo's like, hey, make this, and he's like, no, they're gonna be like, well, you got us there. he's one of the heavy hitters. Like they're gonna respect his like wishes. That's where I'm getting like them essentially just restarting the train and being like, all right, well, this is gonna be a new. I don't think they would do a new like Smash Brothers, but like a new party fighter game, maybe like in the vein of like a Power Stone, where it's like that kind of isometric view and they're running on or something. But like just a new kind of like party game thing that I don't know. He also made Kirby, or he worked on Kirby, so he can also do a Kirby game. But yeah, we'll see. Will it be nothing? More than likely, it'll be nothing because this is Nintendo we're talking about, and they're gonna be like, no, he's fine. If he doesn't want to do it, he's not going to do it. We got Mario and Donkey Kong and Kirby for you, also Yoshi. Number 8. the critic score wrap up. So this is just basically just quickly going through a couple of games that launched that have Metacritic and OpenCritic scores. So a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, that is out. I plan on getting that. It has an 82 on both Metacritic and OpenCritic. That's pretty cool. I went from being like a 7 in excitement for this game to being like a 10 in excitement for this game because I feel like I've been seeing it everywhere. I think it's just a thing of my algorithm's like, oh, you like this stuff, huh? We're about to give you a lot of this stuff. So yeah, do you have anything? You're excited for this? No.
Nah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. How about this one? Metaphor Refantasia has a 94 Metacritic and 93 on OpenCritic. This is going to be one of the heavy hitters for probably like, I don't know, probably RPG game of the year or something like that. Yeah. So we'll see.
That is a shame.
As I said earlier, I don't play Persona games. I don't.
Infinite Wealth is gonna suffer from recency bias. I've been saying
Oh
this
yeah,
the whole effing year. That is a shame that they got that dirty like that.
Oh, that poor game, man.
It's fine. They don't do it for the awards. They do it for the
That's true.
fans. But
Yeah.
I hate to see it not get the recognition it deserves. They've been
Yeah.
making 18 beats a day for 3 summers. They deserve this.
All right, and then Silent Hill 2, which this surprised me because when I first saw the game, I was like, "Oh, this looks, I guess, like Silent Hill." I can't tell you if this is good or not, but apparently it is because it's at an 87 on Metacritic and an 88 on OpenCritic. Like that's strong, and apparently it's people are really enjoying this game.
Mm.
What people aren't enjoying so much of is Until Dawn. It's a remaster, but it's from Ballistic Moon and not Supermassive Games. I believe that's so it's a whole thing that happened there. It's a 75 on Metacritic and it's 70 on OpenCritic. And I think the the difference between those scores is that there probably isn't the same number of reviews on OpenCritic as there are on Metacritic.
I think on one of them,
as you can see,
I think official outlets are weighted more.
yeah, Metacritic, they have the weighted average or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like usually it's like a point or two off, but this being 5 points is kind of weird. So yeah. And then the other thing about Until Dawn is that there's rumors that well, not rumors. At the end of the I guess spoiler if you are playing Until Dawn. Yeah. Um at the end of this, there's a suggestion, or they show that one of the characters that died in the original game is alive, and it kind of points to a possible sequel that could happen. And then there is also rumors that the sequel's being worked on Ballistic Moon, the people who did this. So yeah, cool. Those are the games that are coming out. I will have more on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because I will be picking that up, and I think the official release date is the 10th. On Friday, I think. I don't know what day it is. Yeah, I'll play it because it's Dragon Ball Z and I play Dragon Ball Z games. All right. With that being said, let us jump into what we have been playing. Sean, what have you been playing?
Not a damn thing. Balatro.
No.
Balatro.
Okay.
On mobile.
Okay. Yeah. So I've also been playing Balatro on mobile and I am enjoying the game. Sean and I had a delightful discussion about a facet of
wrong.
a facet of Balatro where I was just like, I feel like this could be a little better, and that's the boss blinds. And this thing of just like, it is what it is. The game itself is fun enough, like the way that if you stick around enough and you're able to like work off the RNG and like build cool builds, you're able to do like crazy stuff. And it's like, oh, that was really cool. And like that reinforces that loop.
There is at least 3 ways I know of that you can re-roll the boss blinds as well.
Oh, okay.
They have 2 vouchers and a joker.
Oh, that allows you to do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And it's one of the things where like the game is super deep, and it's thing of the more you play, the more you unlock, the more you just realize, oh, like that's a thing that you can do in this game, which is cool. Which is cool. Um, to go along the lines of like, oh, you can do that in this game. Legend of Zelda: Echoes of the Kingdom. I'm having a hard time really sticking to this game. When I play the game, I have a good time, but it's a thing
Yeah.
of
You don't have the motivation to turn it on.
yeah, I think it's one of those things where I went from Black Myth to being like a really high point and then kind of like trying to find that next high point. I think the next high point for me is probably going to be probably Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero if that really hits for me, or Dragon Age, or maybe Call of Duty. Like that campaign might like do it for me. So somehow, surprisingly, I don't know. But yeah, like I really like the concept of Echoes of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
and I think playing the game, it's fun once you just kind of like work in, or once you like give yourself up to how the game wants you to play, which is a little slower because you are like summoning these creatures and you're like kind of working off of whenever the like whatever the attack patterns of the creatures are.
Mm.
Though I did figure out that one of the creatures you get is just like a little flame slime thing that like bounces or whatever. And you can just run up to an enemy and just spam that like summon button and just summon flame after flame after flame. And it's basically just an attack. So I've
I mean, they want you to play this like you do Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. Just use your
yeah,
imagination.
yes. So I have done my classic DJ thing of, say with Last of Us, it was like, oh, you should stealth around this up. And I was like, no, fuck stealth. I got these hands. I'm going to use these hands. And I've basically just been like, everything will burn. Everything is flammable in this game.
Mm.
so yeah, it's like, I'm having fun in that way of like, I figured out a way of like, all right, this is bringing me humor and I'm enjoying my time with it. But
He's right
again,
there.
it's like, say it again.
He's right there, officer.
right? hey, I'm only burning things in the game, not in real life. Not yet. But yeah, like I'm having a good time with it. But the game that I've kind of went back to because they have introduced mod support is Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm.
So yeah, I've jumped
Wait,
back into that
on the
game.
console?
Huh? Yeah, on the
On
console.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, surprisingly. And it's actually doing really well in that it has like 100, no, I'm sorry. It has 1.7 million downloads in 24 hours, which is an astounding number because there's like maybe 40 mods in total or something like that right now that's available. But
Yeah.
on PC, the mod support has launched since August, and already there are like mods downloaded, 22 million mods downloaded there.
22.
So yeah, like say what?
You said 22 at first. I'm just
Oh,
laughing.
can you imagine? but yeah, like I'm just having a good time going back. Like I started a second run way back like earlier in this year, and I put it down to play like Dragon's Dogma, and I just haven't gone back to it. And now I'm just like having to remember like what my builds were for the different characters and to figure out where I was in the story. And I think this run, my plan was try to get like everything I could get, and also like romance Karlak. You don't know who Karlak is? It's fine. She's another character in the game, but like I think I'm going to go with not Mithra, the dark drow, the evil lady that you can
Mm.
get. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I just don't remember her name. So yeah, I'm playing that. I'm probably going to just play it and then put it down once I get Sparking Zero, and definitely once I get Dragon Age, because I can only focus on one of these types of games at one time.
Mm.
So yeah, that is it. That's it for me. You got anything else, John, before I close this thing down?
Nay.
Like it hasn't paid us rent. No. All right. Time to shut this down for the night. We'll see you on Well, this has been another episode of Press X Start.
I was gonna say we're putting the dish rag on the sink and we're turning on the oven light. Pack it up. For those who know, no.
Mm-hmm. Well, this has been another episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as you enjoyed making it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. We need those likes. It keeps us going. Thank you. If you are if you're watching, do what I just told you to do, please. Thank you. If you are listening, though, please leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're using. Could be Apple Podcasts, could be the Google Play thing is not a thing anymore, right? No.
Nah, they just play it through YouTube Music now.
Okay, yeah. YouTube Music, Stitcher, wherever you're using it, just give us a review. We'd greatly appreciate it, and it will help us on whatever platform you're using. So thank you. And you can join a conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. And I'll take you there where you should be. Cool. Yeah. All right. That's it. We have been us talking about games and news and stuff. And then next week we'll be talking about more games and news and stuff because this is what we do and that's what we do. So you take care. Peace.